Welcome to the Unexpected Guest. My name is John Clese and you're watching the Eat 300 channel here on YouTube, or who knows where this video is at this point. But I'm coming to you from Chicago on Lake Michigan. It continues to be a broiling hot summer, but we are nice and cool here in my apartment on Lakeshore Drive. And today, because it is the summer, we're actually going to make some fish, which is amazing. We're actually going to make halibut. And we're going to make a mango-pineapple salsa to go on top of that with cilantro, and then we're just going to saute some spinach. And when I was preparing to make this meal, I was really amazed at how much protein fish has. I never really realized that before. I've been trying to eat a lot more fish lately. This that we're going to have here, this is a 7-ounce piece of halibut. It's probably, I don't know, it's just under an inch thick, probably at its highest point. But 7 ounces of halibut actually has 41 grams of protein and 217 calories. That's really amazing to me. I didn't realize it had this much protein. So if you don't like to eat red meat, this is obviously a fantastic, fish is a fantastic source of protein for you. So, all right, so just a couple of the ingredients again that you're going to need today. We've got some fresh spinach that I bought. I decided not to go out of the box. I decided to buy some fresh spinach. We've got garlic for our salsa. We've got lime. I should have had 2 limes, but unfortunately, I wasn't that great at the grocery store this time. We've got mangoes, and the great thing about mangoes now is you can buy them. It's a little more expensive, but you can buy mangoes all cut up now, which is fantastic. We have a jalapeno pepper, which we're going to chop up and put in here. You don't have to use this if you don't want to. We have 1 red onion. I'm probably going to use half a red onion, and I'm also going to do, I'm going to use pineapple in this with the mango salsa, and then we've got lots of cilantro. And the fish itself, we're just going to do like we did the salmon. Oh, actually, I haven't done it this way before. We're just going to wrap it up in parchment paper and bake it in the oven, which is fantastic because you don't get a lot of smell. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with my salsa first. I'm going to do about a cup of mango. I'm going to use about a cup of the mango. And again, this makes it so much. Oh, and I almost just took off my finger at the beginning of the show. That would be very, very nice. But I love this. I love making. I love mango salsa, and it is even though it was $5 for all this mango, I won't use it. I'm only going to use about a cup of it, so there's plenty to use. You can have leftover for shakes and stuff like that. But so I have this really interesting. Well, no, I'm going to tell you right now because I feel like it. The halibut, when we were preparing for the show, it is so interesting. They actually have. They're born with 2 eyes. We all are. And it swims like sort of like you think with the regular, like, you know, eyes on each side like a salmon. But then one of the eyes actually migrates over to the other side and it becomes a flatfish. And where the other eye was just sort of darkens that section and blends in with that side of the halibut, which is sort of a grayish brown. So when he swims flat, it looks like the seafloor. And so then his eyes are on the other side. He's got 2 eyes on the top side, which is really bizarre. I mean, I swear. And I thought some days I didn't look good, but at least my eye doesn't migrate to the other side while I've been sleeping. Can you imagine? Oh, honey, look, my eye went to the other side today. I think there was a Simpsons that had something like that, right? Oh my goodness. So be thankful for the fact that you wake up and your eyes are in the same place. So, all right, let's see. I know this is liquid measure and I'm doing dry. Calm down. Calm down. Oops. And you know, I always do a little bit more than I say, so. Ooh, that looks like that's got some hardness to it, so I'm not going to use that. And this is great. The leftover mango, I freeze it and I put it in my protein shake. I made a protein shake on the channel with chocolate. Now lately I've been sort of getting into vanilla because I've had peaches and nectarines, and I'm not putting it in with chocolate, just sort of vanilla protein mix. Okay, where's my thing? Okay, so we have a cup of mango. This is a 2-cupper, so I'm going to fill it up now with the rest of the. Oh, can you see that, Kevin? Am I in the way with that when I was chopping? Wait till you see the grill episode we did. It's on here. Well, I don't know if it's on yet when you're watching this, but look for it. We went out to Aurora, Illinois, and we grilled this beautiful flank steak. We had so much fun out there. It was hot though. It has been hot, but it was very nice out there on the Fox River. And thank you, Rob, for letting us use your house to do that. Okay, here now I've really lost my. I guess I could have chopped. You could have chopped up that mango fine. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to chop that up a little bit more. Oh, of course, now I don't know what my. Oh well, we'll have to eye it. I was going to do the pineapple on top, and when I put it on the top, I would have known it was another cup, but I just realized I want this a little bit smaller in pieces. Okay. Once again, I'm showing you poor knife technique. God, I'm a mess today. Oh, I know what. Since I already measured that, if I go to the top with the pineapple, I should be all set. And again, I do, for this I'm going to do equal pineapple, equal mango, and then I think I'm going to do, so that's a cup of each, so I think I'm going to do a half of a cup of red onions. But you can play around, obviously, however you want to. Also know, halibut is a very mild fish, so, you know, you're gonna definitely taste the flavor of this salsa, so do a good job with it because the fish doesn't really have tons of it. And then I should say this whole recipe, and if you use about a quarter of the salsa, is about 326 calories, 24 carbohydrates, 47 grams of protein, and 8 Weight Watchers. Woo! 8 Weight Watchers points. Crunch, crunch. All right, chop that up. I'm just gonna dump that in. Done with that. This is really easy to make. It's not a big deal. Now, I'm going to do my red onion. And again, we've all shown you how to cut this onion. So you've got the ringlets going this way, cut perpendicular to the ringlets. It's hard to see. Well, I can show this camera. Can you see that? I can't really cut from all of it, but you're cutting perpendicular. I'll show you in a second. I don't want to cut off the core. So I've cut that, and then when you slice it, you have little diced, mostly diced onion. So it saves you a little bit of time. But my friend Joan used to make mango salsa whenever we had fish out on the vineyard. It was delicious. We used to have it with, she used to serve, we'd get this beautiful fresh swordfish, and she'd have a couple different sauces to go with it, which is really nice. And I love to make fish. Not this white fish necessarily, but I like to. I'm really addicted to these corn tortillas at the moment that I found that are only 50 calories each, and I've just been rolling everything up. Woo! Oh, I guess I should measure that out. Huh? This is a 1 cupper. So let's see. Oh, you know what? Woo! I'm going to do equal. I'm going to do equal onions, equal a cup, and a cup. Let's just keep it simple. Whew. Okay. The best way, Kevin, do you know the best way to protect your eyes when you're cutting onions? No, sorry. Kevin did not know the answer. Do you really? You want to guess? It's contact lenses. There's nothing better than contact lenses for...
That's why I don't cry whenever I cut it in.
Do you wear contacts? Okay. Yeah, contact lenses are the best. My friend Joan says you can put your hands underwater, and I think I did that on one of the shows. That seems to work too, because you want to get the onions off. Okay. So I have 1 cup of onion, 1 cup of mango, 1 cup of pineapple. What else I got? And I need some garlic. Oh, and I need my garlic press.
You are crying.
Very sad, Kevin. Very sad. Kevin's lost, what have you lost, 10 pounds now, Kevin?
Yeah.
Kevin was a fatty when he started the show. I mean, my God, I thought, how's he going to work the cameras with all that fat? But he's really slimmed up. No, I'm just kidding. What, 10 pounds? 15 pounds? How much you lost? 10 pounds. That's because you moved from Ohio. Isn't Ohio like one of the states that's got a bunch of big people in it? Yeah. No offense, Ohio. We love you. You got a little bit of a white thing going on. I'm gonna now, I'm gonna do the lime. Now I should have 2 limes, but I don't. But you should. I think you should anyway. But I do have my little zestery thing. Now, you can put some tomatoes in here. And in fact, I might do that actually. I have some beautiful tomatoes that I bought yesterday at the farmer's market. So we have that, and I am going to actually use some of these nice little guys. A little better. I love tomatoes this time of year. They're finally getting nice and sweet. I don't want to overly tomato this salsa, but look at the colors. It's so beautiful. All right, and the last thing to go in is I'm going to put some I like it hot, as you all know, so I'm going to put in some of this liquid hot sauce. I've got 2 different kinds of hot sauce I'm going to use here. And I'm going to use a jalapeno pepper. So I'm actually going to put these on. Now, jalapeno peppers are really not the hottest of all peppers. They're a little mild. Most of you have had them, I'm sure. Jalapeno poppers are really popular now. It's just like, it doesn't really work for my fingers, but oh my Lord. Maybe you can find better gloves than that. So I'm doing this because it's actually more the, it's like funny. Oh my, maybe because my hands are wet. Or maybe I got ladies' gloves. This is, all right.
You have ladies' fingers.
Shut up, I do not have ladies' fingers. Okay, that's enough. Ow. That is funny. Maybe someone can tell me how to put gloves on. All right, because I don't do a good job with it, but that's enough. Anyway, you want to protect yourselves from the rib. The ribs are actually, and I'll show you in a second, the ribs are actually hotter than the seeds. So that's a misnomer when people think it's the seeds. It's actually this stuff, this white stuff right here. Yeah. That is what makes the pepper hot. Hotter than the seeds for the most part. So I'm actually going to take a spoon and just sort of take out the seeds and the rib. Now, if you like it hotter, you can leave the ribs in. I do, but I'm showing you how to do this, so I might as well just take them out. Ooh, and be careful. Don't do what I just did. Don't pull it towards you, because I just got that in my eye.
Really?
Not good. No, I'm okay.
You're a mess.
And then I am a mess. And I even got a good night's sleep last night. I'm afraid I'm going to cut my finger. This is ridiculous. I don't know where my finger starts and the glove my finger stops and the glove begins. We had a person that used to put gloves on my hand, but we lost him with the budget cuts. Very sad. All right, I'm just doing one of these jalapeno peppers. I'm not going to do many. And I think I got everything. Oh, cilantro. And cilantro is the last thing. So I'm going to get rid of this. Cilantro. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I didn't used to love it, but I certainly love it now. So I have a bunch of cilantro, and I've showed you this before. I stick it in water, and I have a plastic bag that I put on the in the refrigerator, and I just sort of zip it towards, pinch the zipper to the bottom, and then you get this. It stays fresh for the most part. But I took it out and it's wilting under these lights. So I love cilantro in this salsa. So I'm gonna take a chunk of this, try not to cut the rubber band, and put the rubber band in it like I did. What is going on? God's sake. I need an assistant. I need a little sous chef in here. Okay, here we go. Now, let's chop this up. Now, here's what I do with cilantro. I'm not going to worry about these stems, so I just cut up a big chunk of the stems. Then I just sort of, keeping the stems all in this direction, I'm just going to go in and chop. I'm going to chop right down the line. That should be a song, isn't it? Chopping down the line. chop, 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 chop. And then I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go chop, 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 chop. And that is a lot of cilantro. I mean, that is a lot of, well, that is a lot of cilantro. That's a lot of salsa. Okay, now we're just gonna stir this up. Oh, I want some salt. I want some salt in here. I actually want some pepper. Now, if I had another lime, that helps to bring out the juices, just like lemon does with strawberries. But I think this is gonna be fine. Look at all those beautiful colors. And again, have fun with this. Make any variation you want, and you can't go bad. I mean, you got pineapples, you got mango, you have beautiful red onion and cilantro. It's all gonna taste good. It's all gonna taste good. And you'd be surprised the juice that starts to happen. Because I might want to add a little bit of lemon to it. No, I'm gonna leave it just as it is. Perfect. Okay. Now, here's what I do. I'm not smushing it, but I'm gonna put it all down so it's all, well, I guess I am smushing it. So it's all tight in there. And I lick my finger. I'm just gonna put some wrap onto the top of it. If I can get my wrap out. Okay. Now, I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator because I like my salsa a little bit cold, but you can keep it at room temperature if you like it that way. Okay, now the halibut. I've got my oven already on 350. I've got a cast iron skillet. Got my oven on 350, middle rack. I'm gonna put my pan on, my about medium high. My stove is 1 to 10, it's electric. So I put it on 5. All right, I've cleaned up a little bit, take a sip of coffee. You know what my mother said to me today, Kevin? My mother said she loved our promo tape because she loved my demeanor. My mother likes it when I'm sort of calm and talk slowly. And I said, well, you know, Mom, that was just for the promo tape. I can't really do that when I'm cooking. And she said, oh. Mom, I'm trying, but when I'm running around in the kitchen, it's just what it is. All right, so for my halibut, this is my favorite way to do fish. I take parchment paper, and I got this unbleached at an organic store, but it doesn't have to be that way. I'm going to just do this very simply in this on the parchment paper. I'm just going to put the fish, and I'm going to do the fish. I always mess this up. You want the fish to be lengthwise. You want to have some ends to crinkle up and fold under, right? I'm going to put this in a little bit of cilantro. You could put a pat of butter on here if you want to. Of course, you'd have to raise up the calories. I am going to put a tad bit, there's a little olive oil. There's hardly any fat in halibut. In fact, there's only 5 grams of fat in 7 ounces of halibut. But, so you need a little bit of fat on that. But I am going to do a little salt, a little bit of pepper, and just do a drizzle, a little bit of olive oil, drizzle, drizzle. And I'm going to sprinkle some of this on, some of the cilantro. Now, you can do, oh, let's do that. Let's put a little lemon on that. I like to cut the lemon and cut it into thin little wheels with my unsharp knife. Make sure there's no seeds. There are seeds here. The nice thing about having lemon in here is it keeps the fish moist, but you're not going to have a problem. Do not worry about it. Okay, so now we just take our parchment paper. In fact, you know what? I'm going to turn my skillet up to high. I want it almost smoking. Not too much that I set off my fire alarm in my building. I'm going to take this up. I've never used this unbleached parchment paper before. So there's the fish, right? Everybody see that? Lengthwise, lengthwise. I'm going to fold up the sides. It's not as thick as regular parchment paper. So you just go down to the top, and then I'm going to crinkle up the sides. I'm going to try not to fold it under, because I did this last night and it didn't get the skin crispy like I like. So that should be good. And my friend at Whole Foods told me that what makes fish stink is the skin. So when you put it in the bag, it's nice. So Kevin, can you see there? So there's smoke coming out of this pan right now, which tells me I need to hurry up. I'm just going to take so I crinkled it up. I've got the skin side down. I'm going to drop it in the pan. I know my pan is hot because it's smoking. I'm going to turn that off and I'm going to put it into my 350-degree oven. And I'm going to do this for about 15 minutes. If it's a little bit thicker, I had a little bit thicker piece the other day and it took about 20, but we'll see. But you don't want your fish, you don't want it to undercook that. All right, so while that's happening, I'm going to put my pan back on. I've got this this is a nice, I think this is called a soft, I don't know, I try to tell you what the stuff is and I forget, but it's a beautiful skillet with a lid. How about that? It's a beautiful skillet with a lid. Sauterine pan, I don't think that's right. I'm going to get letters and angry phone calls. I put a little bit of olive oil in that. I've got this beautiful fresh spinach, my migrating spinach. And once again, I am not going to trim off much of these stems. It doesn't bother me anymore, and it's a pain in the behind. So I'm just going to do one quick little chop through here. And that's it. That's all I'm taking out. And even that, what a waste. But some of these, I'm going to save some of these leaves. So all we're doing with this dish, I'll put the lemon in it, that'll be good too. So we have lemon in the fish and lime in the salsa, but I think we'll be okay with that. So this meal, again, is just the fish, about a quarter cup, half a cup of the salsa, and just sauteed spinach. So once this is heated up, and it's not yet, actually I'll cut a little bit of lemon. Kevin, I thought I was so together today. I am together. This is just this is just me. This is just me. I've realized at the ripe old age of 84, this is just who I am, and I'm not going to change. I'm stuck in my ways at 84. I'm just not going to change. I should be happy that I look this good at 84. All right. So I'm just going to take my spinach, which I did rinse before you tuned in. I had rinsed my spinach, so should be some water. They can hear that. All right. I'm going to squeeze some lemon in there. A little bit of salt. I've been reading articles about salt, and I've been exercising a lot, even though you can't necessarily tell. But I rode 60 miles yesterday, so I'm very conscious of making sure that I'm actually getting enough salt. I feel like I might have cut too much out. Okay, now, all I'm going to do is put the lid on this, and we're just going to let that go for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to take the lid off and stir it around. All right, so this has been in for just a couple of minutes. I'm going to get my tongs. And if you care about your pans, which you should, especially these nice all-clad, get some of these tongs with the rubber tips on them. They won't scratch your pans, which is very nice. So that's all I'm going to do now. And it's amazing how much spinach wilts down. This was just a big bunch that I got. And I'm just going to ever so wilt it down. Probably just 2 more minutes or so on the back of this. I'm going to put the lid on. We should be fine. We should be good to go. All right, so check the spinach. Okay, I'm gonna turn the oven, I'm gonna turn the burner off because I'll forget at my age. And this is all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave it just like that. That is all I'm gonna do with the spinach. I'm gonna spread it out on the bottom. I'm gonna put the lid on. So that took like less than 4 minutes to, it's amazing how all that spinach comes down. I'm always amazed with that. And again, I don't mind the stems. I'm eating them. They're good for you. I'm just gonna put the lid on it, and I'm gonna keep it on the back of the stove. And we have about 9 more minutes or so to go on the halibut. So we'll come back as soon as that's ready to come out of the oven. I'm beeping, I'm beeping, I'm beeping. So when I'm beeping, that means I gotta check my fish. And I'm gonna grab a pot holder because don't do what my friend Joan does, which is just grab the pan out of the oven. But I hate when you do that, when you take the pan out and then you stick it on the oven. Have any of you ever done that? And then you grab the handle, ouch. All right, so let's see. Now, just gonna put this on here for a second to see. So, interesting question. How do we know whether or not this is done? It's in a packet. Kevin, can you get that where it's actually, can you see the bubbles in there? I could show the, right in here, you can see it bubbling inside the packet. And on the side too, let me push this to the side. So I'm gonna say it's done. Now, just like you do with steak, obviously when you touch a fish and you touch meat, if your finger goes all the way through soft and squishy like a big fat belly, it's still raw. If it starts to give back somewhat, then you're getting to the medium rare. And then if it's really tough, then you know that you've got it well done. So with this fish, I'm gonna actually sort of push onto the sides. And it takes some time, and obviously it's still, it just takes some time to get what that feels like. And I think that's good. So, and it's still cooking in this pan, and I'm actually not gonna take it out yet until the very last second. Now, my salsa was only in the refrigerator for, since we've done the show, so it's only been about 20 minutes or so. I typically would like this to be in longer than that, a few hours or overnight, to get it all macerated, which I think is the word. But you can see it's getting wetter. If you like it a little bit more juicy, you could have added more lime, but believe me, by tomorrow, this will have more liquid on the bottom, but I don't like my salsa too liquidy. So, got the salsa to the side, and I think for this recipe, I'm giving you a 1/4 cup, so we're just gonna have to eye it because I don't have it on my, I don't have it on the set. I don't know what I did with it. So, all right, let me get my plate, get my fish. Oh, let me turn off the oven. Don't want to forget that. Now, I'm going to put this on the plate. Now, here's what I mean about this pan. This pan is hot. I'm not going to set the pot holder on fire like I did last time, but what you want to do is just keep a pot holder on it, especially over the handle, so you know that it's hot. Trust me, you may think that's crazy, but inevitably when you cook with a frying pan in the oven, at some point, if that was sitting there, you were going to grab it and forget that it is. Everybody's done it. So, all right, now, let's open the fish. I'm going to get a pair of scissors in case I need them. I'm just going to open up my little package. Without trying to mangle it. Now, what I like to do is, I don't like to take it out of the wrapper, and some of you in the restaurants they do this, but I do need to cut this little end off a little bit. Because I don't want the juices necessarily going all over the plate. I want the juices to stick with my fish. Right? Look at that. Can you get a close-up of that? Isn't that beautiful? So, and actually, as I say this, I have the salsa, so I am going to take it off the plate. But let me show you what I did last night. So we're going to show you this 2 different ways. Hopefully I don't mess it up. What I did last night, I did a sea bass, was I just took my spinach, which is here, and I just stuck it on the side like this. And this is how I served myself last night. But we have salsa, so I'm going to take this off. So if you didn't have salsa, I would do that, but I forget that I have the salsa. And I would serve it in the bag, which is really pretty. I'm gonna get my fish spatula somewhere, which is here. Everybody should have one of these. And actually, I'm gonna pull this fish out. I'm gonna slide it out, actually. And I forget, I have the salsa, so I don't mind if some of the, I am gonna let some of the juices, oops. So we are gonna put the juices on the plate. If I was just using that salsa for fish, I would dump this juice into that. Now, you've got some lemons. I don't really want to cut into the lemons, so I'm going to put the lemons off to the side. Actually, let's have a little fun. And then I've got my salsa. And actually, I'm going to get a spoon. Something that's not, something that's, this is whatever you call it, got slits in it. And I don't always like to put things right on top of it. I like people to see what they're eating. I'm going to get some of these nice little red tomatoes on there. Yeah. And we've got our spinach. This recipe is for a cup of cooked spinach. I like to garnish if I've used the cilantro in here, so I'm going to garnish with the, boy, the cilantro really wilts. So I've got cilantro on top, but we'll just put a little bit of fresh cilantro in there. Cover that up. Well, try not to cover it up, I should say. There you go. Pretty yummy. All right, let's take a bite of that. Let's take a look at the fish. I know everything else tastes good, but I want to make sure that the fish is cooked well, and it should be a flaky. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? You see that, Kevin? Mm-hmm. So that looks perfect. Now, before I eat it, let's just push my finger in and see. I don't know if you can see that on film camera. I don't know if you can see that on film, Kevin. But if I push in, you see how that is? So that's done. It's not like going in raw, and it's not like not moving, but it's moving a little bit. So it takes practice. So let's taste this. That's really perfectly done. And that's the nice thing I like about cooking in the, I'm going to have a little bit with the salsa, excuse me. You will love that. There's no fish smell in the house. The skin, it gets somewhat crispy. I've done that with salmon and it gets really crispy on the pan. But it's all cooked through. This is a really, really great dish, but again, doing all the fish with the parchment paper, if you have somebody in the house that doesn't like the fishy smell, it's perfect. So, again, we've got our halibut and our spinach with our mango-pineapple salsa, and the total dish is 326 calories, 8 Weight Watchers points, and 47 grams of protein and 24 carbohydrates. And actually, somebody asked me about fiber the other day to mention that, so we've got 8 grams of fiber as well. Wonderful, wonderful dish if you're trying to lose weight or maintain. So that is it. Oh, again, real quick, down here on this side of the film, you'll see where it asks you to subscribe. So if you could click on that and subscribe to my YouTube channel, then you'll get updates every time a new video comes on. My name is John Clese, and again, this is The Unexpected Guest. Thank you so much for joining me, and watch all the videos on the channel and enjoy.